Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys another first impressions and tutorial on another really popular, really exciting palette. This one is actually from Anastasia Beverly Hills and it is called the Riviera palette. This palette got me super excited for spring and summer. It has been absolutely freezing in Canada lately and just the dead of winter, so I cannot wait to dive right on into this with you guys. So if you want to know my first impression thoughts, see some swatches, and also a tutorial on the look I have today, then just keep on watching. First things first, let's talk about the outer packaging. This one is super adorable and it definitely has that like nautical theme, which is really cute. Then when you open it up, you do have, of course, the classic Anastasia Beverly Hills setup with the mirror on the cover. You have a dual-ended brush as well. And then you have the shades themselves. How freaking gorgeous are these shades? Here are the swatches of the gorgeous colors. And in this palette, we do have 8 mattes and we have 6 shimmer shades. All of the shimmers are actually on the top row, so that makes it very easy, except for the white matte on the end there. Everything else is shimmer. And then we have all of the mattes on the bottom row. And as you guys can see, like this palette is really, really colorful from them. I really enjoy it. I do have a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, so I feel like I can definitely give you guys a really good first impression on if I think this formula is consistent with the rest of her palettes. This palette is actually currently available in multiple retailers now. We do have it at Sephora, at Ulta, Beautylish, as well as, of course, the Anastasia Beverly Hills website. It does retail for 45 American dollars or 59 Canadian dollars. One thing I did find kind of interesting is that on Sephora, this palette in US dollars and in Canadian dollars is actually a little bit more expensive than some of her other palettes. So the Soft Glam palette is a couple dollars cheaper. I know on the Canadian site, it's almost $4 cheaper. So it's kind of weird. I don't understand why. Maybe it's the conversion, but that is a little bit strange to me. Now let's talk about how I got this look today using a whole bunch of colors, and you guys really encouraged me to continue to play with color. A lot of you guys are super supportive in my comments when I do use color, so thank you so much. I hope this look is also one that you're really proud of and excited about. First of all, I did prep my eyelids with my Smashbox eye primer, then I let it dry, then I went in with a Sigma E25 and I used the shade Estate. This is a gorgeous base shade. It is a matte. It is consistent with the rest of the mattes that I have used and loved with the rest of her palettes. So I've been very impressed with that one as well. Then I went in with a Smith 235. I did this one on purpose because I wanted it to be very diffused. I figured it was going to be a pretty pigmented shade and I really wasn't wrong. I picked up the shade Monte Carlo. This is a gorgeous pink color. And even in the swatches, it is so pigmented. And when you apply it to the eye, it is also super pigmented. So as you can see, I started with just dabbing motions on my eye so that I could build it up and blend it as best as I could from there. Next, I picked up a Wayne Goss number 19 and I went in with a gorgeous shimmer shade. This is the shade called Palermo. As you can see, it didn't add too much more to the look right now, but it does add a little bit more dimension when I get to the third shade, which is actually that gorgeous blue. This shimmery shade was the start of some incredible fallout on my eye, so that is pretty normal for her palettes. I never do my face makeup before I use a palette of hers because it just tends to fall all over the place. It could be a combination of the brushes that I use being a little bit more fluffier, but honestly, I would rather have, little pigment that I can build up versus having a lot of pigment that I have to blend out, because blending is not always my strength, especially with color. So I do like to use fluffier brushes, and if that does result in more fallout, which it probably does, then I'm okay with that. Lastly, I wanted to add that gorgeous blue shade. This is so pretty, you guys, and I just reviewed the Tarte new High Tides and Good Vibes palette. It also has a gorgeous blue, but the one in the Tarte is much more green. This one is actually a lot more like aqua blue. So This one is actually super gorgeous, and when I picked it up with my Luxie 213, I really wanted it to be more diffused on the lid, so I didn't start with concealer over my look. If you want the blue to really pop, I do think you'll have to use concealer, especially over like a pink shade already on the eye. So if that's something that you want to do and you want it to be a lot more like evident, then definitely put concealer first. But for me, I wanted it to look diffused. I wanted it to look kind of like cotton candy eyes, where it's like pink, kind of going to blue, a little bit to purple. So I just applied it right over top. I actually personally love that I picked this up because this is going to challenge me immensely. So I do not have colors like this like repeated in my collection. I have some colorful palettes, of course, but nothing that is obviously arranged like this and has the Anastasia formula, of course. So this is one that I'm really happy I picked up because I know that you guys are actually so supportive and you tell me all the time that my bold looks actually look amazing, even though I'm like so nervous to do that. So I cannot wait to dive right into this and just continue to improve my confidence when it comes to building colorful looks. The only thing I will say as well is that the cover of this is a little interesting. I mean, it looks really nautical, so I thought there was going to be actually like a navy matte in here, but there isn't. So that is a little bit interesting. I think that'd be the only thing that I would change from this palette because the cover is so nautical. I think a navy matte would have been awesome, but I do understand that this is very like tropical and that's the whole point of it, so I'm not mad at it. Anyways, guys, that is it for my first impression swatches and tutorial on this brand new Riviera Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Let me know down below, what do you think of this palette? Are you going to pick it up? This is something that so intrigued me. I am so glad I have it in my collection now, and I cannot wait to play with it more. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this helped you out in deciding if this is worth it or not for you. And until my next one, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.